Good evening, folks. How are you? Are you all well? I hope so. So, yeah, I just thought it'd be interesting because at the end of yesterday's stream, I think Barry Browning was talking about how he couldn't get access to his dog, even though I thought it was his kid. And anyway, um, yeah, and it turns out pretty much everyone in my chat is like an expert in narcissism. So we've obviously all had our encounters, haven't we? And I said to you that, you know what? We've got to do like a stream all about narcissism soon. And so I just thought, well, why don't I adapt the Agony art stream and actually sort of get it going now? So basically, what I'm going to do is we'll see, man. There's no real structure. I don't really know how to approach this. I've got like, I don't know if any of you have ever heard of him, but Richard Grannon. Richard Grannon is a guy who's, I'm not sure if he's a psychotherapist or a psychologist. And I'm not sure exactly his title, but the point is he helped me get through a particular experience in relation to an overt narcissist, actually, in that case. But but like I'm sure with any of you, it seems to they seem to follow you around, and I've known all sorts, covert narcissists, overt narcissists. But anyway, the point is, as well, Jim Mila, aka Woodland Warrioress, she's she's had experiences too, so she knows all about the complex. So I thought that I'd actually get her on. And by the way, I don't know if you've noticed, but this is the first Agony Aunt stream where I'm just being me, and it's not with the Joker, but the Joker will make appearances again, just more as crazy prank calls to. Yeah, well, we'll see. You'll see, man. But I got a few things up my sleeve with that. But so anyway, what actually going to do is I'm going to post a link if you don't mind. Oh, I see you, Icon. Bear with me, brother. I'm going to actually post a link in the chat. Please, no one else click on this, but Woodland Warrioress. And yeah, we'll get into it. Oh, good. I'm glad Barry Browning's here because you kind of inspired this one, mate. Right. So Woodland Warrioress, that's the link. And you could basically, pop in whenever it suits you. Um let's see who we got. Hello guys. How you doing? It's an interesting subject. And by the way, Agony Art Stream slash exploring covert narcissism. So if you actually have any other things you want to get into that are completely unrelated to that, that's fine too, man. That's totally fine. Icon sees Mr. No. Dogs are kids too, mate. Exactly. Just very stupid, hairy kids. But yes, but very affectionate and loyal ones. But quite possessive. They are quite possessive. Um, Icon sees Mr. No. Hello, Tubby B. Well, yes. That almost reminds me of the Teletubbies. Is that what that was a reference to? I'm not the purple one, Icon. Not the purple one. Okay? Not Tinky Winky. Just saying. Um, Barry Browning, Icon, Hiveless. Yay. That's for Woodland, that link there. Okay? Um, who we got? Icon. Oh, yeah. Mr. Barry. Hobbs is here. That's good. Hello, Hobbs. How you doing, bruv? Hi. Icon sees Mr. No. Barry Brownie. Everyone just saying hello to everyone. Active Shooter. This stream's all about you. Although you're an overt arsonist. It's not for you, this one, mate. That's next week's one. Active Shooter, you should do a bedtime story stream with Dr. Conrad Murray as narrator. Do you know that? I thought you were going to say Conrad. Is it Conrad Black who I was thinking of? The ex uh, media tycoon mogul dude who well anyway, something. He's a character, isn't he? Conrad Murray. Who is Conrad Murray, dude? I'm sorry I don't know that reference off the top of my head. The chat teaches me things, folks. The chat's always trying to give me better abilities at pub quizzes. Here we go. Conrad Murray. Let me look at a picture at least. Oh, Oh, is that Michael Jackson's doctor? Is that Michael Jackson's doctor, dude? That's hilarious, man. Good for you. That's very niche. Wow. Oh yeah, very funny show. Well, I like that. Well done, man. Well done. You should do a bedtime story stream with Dr. Conrad Murray as narrator. Yeah, little Jesus juice for active shooter, yeah? We'll get you some Jesus juice, active shooter. Just you wait. Oh yeah. Barry Browning. Whoa. I'm just gonna assume that you are struggling spelling and not having a stroke there, Barry Browning. And if you are, yes, good luck. So what do you reckon, guys? So basically, what I've got in store is, I've got a few thoughts actually, but we'll see how we want to approach it. I've basically got Richard Grannon. You should at least know about him, but I've got an excerpt from a video of his that I thought gives a pretty good overview of what the covert narcissist is, and their primary weapon of choice, as being distinct from the sort of overt narcissist. It does some, it goes some way into achieving that, but again, on short notice, it's just what I could put together in this instance. So I'm just thinking, all right, there are enough people watching now, so I think I might just play. Oh, but I've got to know that Woodland Warrioress is knocking around. Do you know what? I'm gonna just trust that she knows what she's doing. I'm gonna play you. Hopefully this works. I'm gonna play you a bit of this video and take notes, folks. We may be answering questions the other side of this, so take notes. Okay, here we go. This is Richard Grannon, and he's telling you all about the covert narcissist and their favorite weapon. Check this out.
Share with you today a technique that covert or vulnerable narcissists use. It's their special crazy-making weapon that they use to abuse their targets. In order for you to understand the weapon, you need to understand a little bit of the structure of the personality that's coming with that weapon. So we say online, on YouTube, on the forums, we say covert, but actually in the literature, it's fragile. Or sometimes it will be described as vulnerable. So this was to express that it was in opposition to the previously defined narcissistic personality disorder, the grandiose narcissist. And they're saying, wait, there is a type of narcissist who's fragile, who's vulnerable, who will show weakness, who's not the alpha male, the alpha female, top of their class. They'll actually be vulnerable, and they'll actually promote feelings of vulnerability. Why is it important for you to understand their fragility in terms of the structure? Well, because if they don't come from this particular structure, the weapon that they use won't work. So when we're talking about fragile or vulnerable narcissists, how would we define them? Briefly. So within 30 seconds, the way that I would define somebody that you would be saying was functioning from a fragile narcissistic personality structure or strategy would be somebody who is cycling. So they're constantly in a cycle of elation and depletion. Unlike the grandiose narcissist who has a ready supply of narcissistic a ready supply of narcissistic supply, so they're on a fairly continuous steady burn of elation, the fragile or vulnerable narcissist is failing all the time to get that supply. He gets it, he loses it. She wins it, she loses it again. So they cycle between elation and depletion. So therefore, they're more moody, generally speaking, than the grandiose narcissist, but also you'll see them cry. You'll see them fragile. You'll see them vulnerable. They will say sorry. They will apologize, but ultimately they're only cycling as they're trying to get back up to a position of power. Because everything that this personality disorder is about is all about power over others. The power of the grandiose narcissist might be to bully you or to reward you. It would be something that is done in the light, Yang style. You will see it coming. Do as you're told or else you're going to get smacked. Do as you're told and you'll get the good thing that you want. Because they have power. That's a grandiose classic narcissist. The fragile or covert narcissist doesn't have power. So they manipulate, they cajole. This is why I think why covert is such a popular way of talking about them, is because they can't do it in a way that is direct. They have to be indirect. So this lack of power, this fragile structure that they're coming from, means that they have to be intensely manipulative. Which brings us to their favorite crazy-making weapon of choice. So you as the target have to be, in the sense, in your dyad, in the structure of two people, in the folie à deux that you are in, and you are in it, you're leaning into it, otherwise it doesn't work. You will perceive them as fragile. And you'll go, well, they can't be one of those nasty classic narcissists, because last week they said sorry, and the week before that they started crying and opening up to me, and they made themselves vulnerable to me. So therefore it can't be narcissism, it must be something else. That's actually part of the weapon. The first part of the weapon.
Let me pause it there, folks. Did you catch that? I know we've got just loads of empaths in, except for active shooter. You know what he's talking about, right? So he's basically laying out that, unlike with the overt narcissist, and this is the condition, see what he's called it? Covert narcissism is the sort of popularized name for it. But if you see underneath the word covert, he was explaining that the literature calls it fragile or vulnerable narcissism. Okay. And he's basically laying out how they'll seemingly, it is literally an oxymoron, the condition of covert narcissism. It basically denotes the condition of a sort of contradiction in terms. How could you conceivably be self-loving and yet sort of so insecure? Well, this is the insecure narcissist. He hasn't said as much quite here, but it essentially is the insecure narcissist, which makes them way more fucking interesting and harder to detect. So with that said, he's basically laying out at the moment how they can seemingly flip from a sort of almost like a sort of schizophrenia, like between sort of self-love and self-hate, essentially, sort of laying out. But I will play on just a little further, just as long as you're clear with that. Here we go.
So it has like a 1-2 punch effect. The first part is to confuse you, which you will be confused, because you'll be like, well, who am I dealing with today? Which version of them? If they're related, they're showing up as grandiose. So if they've got their narcissistic supply, they'll be grandiose. They'll be the classic bullying narcissist, and you've seen them do that. But if they're depleted, then they'll be the vulnerable narcissist.
And just to say, in case you don't notice, although I know most of you will, yeah, basically the condition of narcissism, it sort of operates. It's a personality structure that operates based on gaining a sort of what's called supply, which is like a source of, what would you call it? Esteem, essentially. So most people, if you're able to garner a sense of self-esteem from just a sense of your own confidence in what you know you're good at, your own abilities, your own efforts, or whatnot, for instance. Well, narcissists just are completely void of that as a sort of a foundation, and so their personality structure is solely based on what sort of supply, as it's put, they can get from others. So in the case of the covert narcissist, he's just laying out the particular dynamic of that. So here we go.
They'll be much more sad. They'll show you that they're weak, that they need you, they need you, they need you, and you will feel confusion. So the first part of this weapon is to make the target feel confused. Who am I dealing with? The grandiose or the vulnerable one? Is it the The vicious or the kind one? Which one of these two personas am I going to be dealing with today? Over and over and over again. So you never know where you are. So you're confused, you're upside down. And then the next thing that they'll do beyond the confusion, which is where the crazy makingness comes from, is they will leverage your pity in them by evoking massive feelings of guilt. These are the ones who give you the sob story. So their weapon comes in a package delivered, but it's only the missile delivery system. It's not the weapon itself. It's not the actual payload of the sob story. The sob story. So you will have a story of them orphaned, abandoned, some terrible tragic background, some operatic level dreadfulness that occurred to them. They're the biggest victim in the room. Don't you feel sorry for them? Well, if you love a person and they've been through pain, you'll feel pity for them. You'll feel sorry for them. That's natural. There's no shame in that. But what they've done is they've turned that good emotion, that standard emotion, and they've used it against the human host. They've gone, there's a weakness here. If I can present with the structure of fragility and I'm cycling through elation and depletion of narcissistic supply, that will confuse the target so they don't know which version of me that they're actually going to get. Then I can give them my sob story, which is the missile delivery system that delivers the payload. The actual main weapon that's going to drive you completely crazy is you feel sorry for them. You feel sorry for them.
Just to pause that and say, hey, active shooter, IQ 43. And also, if you're in the cluster B complex, active shooter, you're a sociopath, so no doubt you're confused. But don't worry, dude. This one's not for you. You just sit back and you just go and count your matches, all right? But is everyone else sort of following? What do you think of Richard Grannon? If you didn't already know about Richard Grannon, folks, right? And I see that Mr. Hugh, you're engaged. Barry Brownings, you're engaged. What do you think of this guy? Because I think he's good anyway. And what he's talking about with the sort of guilt, the sob story. It's interesting, especially in the case of the covert narcissist, that you tend to feel sorry for them, I find that particularly interesting. And what I might actually do at this point, you know what? That's a bit of video for now. What I might actually do is just setting the scene, really. I might actually attempt to get Woodland Warrioress, who is our resident Agony art expert on everything to do with Cluster B, because she used to date me after all. Here you go, Woodland Warrioress. Only Woodland Warrioress to click the link, folks. Thanks a lot. There you go, honey. I'm just putting it in the chat now. So if you click that link, I'll get you on. What do we all think, folks? I saw some interesting comments people were making. But yeah. They are thought to be somewhat distinct conditions, like the overt or distinct personality structures, the covert versus the overt. But I just thought, why not? It's just an interesting subject, isn't it? I mean, we could get into it like normal chats, honestly, after this. It doesn't have to be specifically about that, but, active shooter, damn, he said confused at the same time I wrote it. Very funny. I got active shooter. It was a bit what you were doing. I get it. Mr. Hugh, people that twist things. Yeah, that's another good name for it. Oh, hello, Woodland Warrioress. I see you here. So let's get you in. And I might actually... How you doing? How you doing, hon?
Hello, how are you?
All right. What do you think of that? Did you come in late? I don't know how much of that you caught, actually.
Just a few minutes late, but I'm a big fan of old Richie boy. He's brilliant.
I know. Well, actually, it was Jamila that put me back on to Richard Grannon. I like I said, he'd helped me through a particular situation a long time ago, and she'd mentioned the name, and I was like, "Is that guy?" And it was that guy. So what you make of what he's laying out there, hun? I don't know if you caught enough to comment on it, or I could even play a little more if you want to while you're here. It's up to you.
Yeah, play a little more.
Let's I'd like to hear a little more. I sort of stopped him in mid-track, so I'm going to play a little more, but I'm not going to go on for too much longer. So cool. Here we go. Are you enjoying this, folks? This is my do you miss the Joker yet stream? No, I'm only playing. This is important education. Listen now.
And you won't leave them, and you won't kick them out, and you won't draw a hard boundary with them because of the sob story and because it makes you feel guilty. These ones, these vulnerable narcissists, these covert narcissists, these do the most damage, in my humble opinion, just because of the amount of confusion they generate in the host. The amount of confusion they generate in the target is so much, it's so high, it's so intense, and you never know from one day to the next which version of them you're dealing with, and you never really know what the truth of them is. There is, I don't believe, any real closure with a fragile narcissist. A part of you, after the relationship, is always going to wonder if they were really that sad, lonely, desperate victim that they presented themselves as. You remember the cat in Shrek? The cat who uses the eyes, oh, I'm so sad, to evoke an emotional response in people. And then when they go, oh, look at the cute kitty, that's when he gets his rapier, his sword out and kills them. So this is how it works. And over time, you will, obviously this is going to be crazy making, because what are you going to do? Well, if you're an essentially good person and you believe that they're a victim and you love them, it's also necessary that you love them, or you need something from them, or you're leaning in. You must be leaning in. All of these narcissistically abusive relationships are a dyad. That means there's two people. There's two. So they're leaning into you, you're leaning into them. We know that this is true because I'll say to people, you need to go no contact. And they go, yeah, I'll go no contact. I'll go no contact. Yeah, totes. I watched your video, mate. It was good. Watched your video.
Do you know what? I've watched a bit of this already. He sort of goes on to say, like, people can't do no contact, basically. That's all he goes on to say. But what do you make of that then, Jamila?
Well, I think he's absolutely right with the no contact thing. There's a term with covert narcissism that's called grey rock. And it's basically you grey rock them, which means you completely disconnect and disengage, which is, it can be quite difficult to do, especially if you've been entwined with that person, but it's kind of the only way to deal with a covert narcissist.
Right, to go total no contact. Yeah, absolutely. It's it is. I mean, I know you all know, for anyone who's sort of an engagement, it's fucking spooky. Let's just be honest about it. It is like being with a kind of haunted house personality structure, isn't it? It's like no one's there, but it's just haunted. There's ghosts of a sort of fractured personality somewhere in there, but it's all geared up to hurt you. And never lead anywhere good. It literally never leads anywhere good. They're a house of, it's not even a house of mirrors. It is like a house of mirrors, actually. It's a house of booby traps, actually, the sort of personality structure, right? That's what I think of it as. No, really, it's terrifying. Like, I'm telling you, man, I've known coverts and overts, honestly. But absolutely fucking terrifying, I'm telling you. Well, actually, one of the things I also sort of got to the side here, me, and I thought it was quite what I might do is read out bits of the chat, but I just prelude it by sort of giving you a little heads up. This is also by Richard Grannon, so he's kind of taking over the show tonight.
He is.
A little write-up he did. Right, a little write-up he did about the tactics frequently used by covert narcissists, and what I could do is I'll tickle your curiosity, everybody, by just giving you the little title of each, and maybe I could get into them later. Here you go. Money and gifts is one of them. Emotional trump cards is another. Implications. acting innocent and clueless, telling lies, acts of omission, conveniently forgetting what you asked him or her to do, the bait and switch, double messages. Hey, Icon, I think that one's about you. Posting double messages. Only joking. Being very nice, but not intimate. Shit, me. If you don't
Yeah.
if we don't get it on soon, you're a narcissist. Refuses to listen to you. Yeah.
Sorry, what was that?
Control. Freak, get away from me. Um, controls the communication. Oh shit! Damn, it's my fucking channel. Fuck you. Will not answer direct questions. The silent treatment. There you go. That's all of them. But we'll get into them in a bit. If well, I think we should, man. Some of them are quite interesting. But yeah. So I want to hear your thoughts, folks. What do you reckon? We don't have to get into it. It's your call, Mr. Hugh. I think it's a case of poor me-itis. Poor me-itis. Yeah, I like it. And they are full of themselves. Yes, absolutely. Any
But
thoughts, man?
covertly, which is why they're difficult to spot, as Brandy was saying yesterday, they're incredibly difficult to spot because they are covert about it. And what makes it very difficult for the person that's in the relationship with them is that what they're portraying to other people is completely different. So it's very difficult to come out and explain what it is you're going through. It's a really tough, manipulative journey with a covert.
Absolutely. Yeah, 1,000,000%. Yeah, because you tend to, because one of the things they're good at, actually, we haven't got into that here, but I'll just tell you. In fact, you probably know about this, to be fair. They're especially with the covert narcissists, because they can't kind of rely on the big, bold, you know, what do you call it? Slick, erudite, overt sort of characteristics of the overt narcissist.
Yeah,
They are particularly good at generating a halo effect, though, the covert
yeah,
narcissist, don't you think? It's
yeah,
a particular go-to. So if you ever meet anyone who's kind of particularly saintly, they're able to project a sort of saintly image of themselves, like they're sweet, meek, and shy, and all that sort of stuff. Most covert narcissists appear as meek, shy, saintly people. They really do. That's the cover, and that's why it's even more freaky, because they'll appear
yeah,
that way. Yeah, absolutely, and it's even more. It really is even more disarming, absolutely, than the overt narcissist, right? Because
it
you
is. Yeah,
will.
but that's what
No,
hooks you as well, isn't it?
1,000,000%, and you'll be there busy trying to sort of look after them, all the rest of it, but you're actually there with you just invited a scorpion into your bed, and it's fucking terrifying. And they will absolutely switch everyone up to be they'll create a strange hierarchy comprised of like with the narcissistic personality structure per se, or condition, or whatever.
Yeah,
I think this is true of both sorts of narcissists, that they have you ever heard of the when it comes to the parenting styles, or parenting approaches, that they divvy up the kids in terms of sort of roles to satisfy their particular supply needs. For instance,
yeah,
you've got the golden child, the one that's doted on. So there's so if you have a child that's particularly compliant, then they'll
yeah.
become the golden child. They can do no wrong. And then you've got the what are the others now? It's been a while, but I know you've got essentially the black sheep, and that would be essentially where I cut my stuff, as the black fucking sheep. Can do nothing right. It's the complete opposite, the golden child. And there's actually, you know what? I forget, if anyone can help me in the chat with this. Actually, there's one that's the ignored child, but I just forget what it's called. I forget the particular designation that's called. If anyone can help me out with that, there's the overlooked child, and that's almost the saddest case, I think.
Yeah, that is.
Right, because what you get is the black sheep child is usually like autistically tells the truth all the time. So and because they're willing to tell the truth about the narcissist and probably realized what's really going on, they have to be shunned in case they expose the narcissist, essentially.
Yeah.
So there you go. All right, I'll read a few of these me real quick, and we'll get back into it. So Barry Browning, good, cause that's where I'm at. Icon, okay. Michelle L, hello. I just subtitled this be. Well, nice to meet you, Michelle L. You're possibly too attractive to be a real person, but if you are a real person, hello, and I'll give you my number later. Also, active shooter. What about me? You don't know Michelle L, do you? Mila, Jamila.
Me? Oh, no, I don't. Sorry, I
Right, I'm
phased
just
out.
checking. I'm just checking. Okay. Active shooter. What about me over here? Me. Active shooter. Yeah, I saw your message from earlier. Actually, that was quite funny. No, don't sit this one out. Active shooter, of course not. You study the empaths and see how we're all conspiring to learn about your cousins, your very strange cluster B cousins. Active shooter is a sociopath, me.
I don't know. I mean, it's possible. It is possible, but a very funny one, I have to say.
Oh, well, they are charming until they burn your face off.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Mr. Hugh, me. Yes, exactly. I can see it's Mr. No, me. Ha ha ha. I see what you did there. Yes, exactly. And all it is Michelle. I suppose you're not allowed to be attractive and be conceived of as a real person these days because there are many avatars that look just like you trying to get me to click on Chinese porn links in my fucking comment section. So do forgive me. But that's just a thing now, apparently. Active shooter, hi Michelle. Yes. Icon sees Miss No. Yeah, it's a form of attention whoring, Hugh. Right. Active shooter, can you smoke grey rock?
I don't see why not. Yeah, I could give it a go.
Well, tell me again, because that is new to me, that term, and you mentioned that to me yesterday, but great, and you said it today. So that just, why is it coined? Do you actually know why it's coined that way? Does that mean to ignore the narcissist, to have no contact, you said?
Yeah, basically, you just completely disengage. You
Right.
don't give any oxygen to the situation at all, like a rock.
Oh,
Just
right. That's
nothing.
why.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay, I see. Right, I even wonder if that alludes to, I don't know if there's a little, I'm sure there's a Buddhist meditation where this does not sum up Buddhism for anyone who doesn't know, but I'm sure there's a sort of little known practice where you can imagine stilling your mind by imagining you're an inanimate object like a rock or a piece of wood, right? And I was just curious if it doesn't derive from there, weirdly, because that's
That
a
would
way
be
to not be
interesting, yeah.
noticed. Right, it's a way to not be noticed if you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyway, good. Where are we at? Uncle Bones. Hello, Ray. And hello, Ray. Oh, by the way, Uncle Bones, you know what, brother? I saw you post the links. Yes, I'll get on that later. Okay, I'll check that out, mate. Thanks for letting me know, brother. Hello, Ray. Glad you could make it. Oh, that's Ray. What? Are you telling me that Michelle is Ray, Uncle Bones? I'm sorry. Oh, shit. Okay, right. I see. Let me see. Uncle Bones at Michelle. Tell Hiveless Uncle Bones sent you. Lol. Oh, right. Okay. So Michelle, is that legit, Uncle Bones? You sent Michelle. Well, thank you. Fair enough. I got you. Dan Demantra. Agreed. Grey rock is the only way. From experience. Also, Woodland Warriors. What a beautiful voice. Oh, Woodland Warriors.
Oh, damn. Thank you.
Oh my God. Get a fucking room, guys. I mean, but or a wooden shack in the forest. I don't give a shit. But can I watch? I'm not a
Peace.
narcissist. What? Okay. Sorry. Dan, nice to meet you. Very bold. I mean, that's yes. I don't actually know Dan, but nice to meet you, Dan. Very bold. I like it. That's kind of my style. What was it? Flashheart, Lord Flashheart, is it or something? You know, from Blackadder. How the fuck we all doing then? Hello, beautiful. Oh, hello, Woodland. Give me a fucking kiss. Oh shit, I just got banned for being too brilliant. You're not going to get banned for being brilliant here, Dan Dementra. No. You get rewarded for that sort of shit, actually. Hobbs, shit, I'm all the above. Yeah, well, do you know what, Hobbs? At the end of the day, I actually found a description because, and for anyone who doesn't know this, I didn't actually get this ready, but I might just quickly do a search anyway. For anyone who doesn't know this, the cluster B complexes, let me get that up because that is some interesting reading. The cluster B complexes. Do you know much about that stuff, me? While I'm looking it up, I don't know.
Not details, but I have looked into covert narcissism a lot.
Right. Oh, here we go. The DSM. Well, do you actually know what DSM stands for? Because I actually don't. The DSM-5, and I should know that, but hey. Someone in
DSM-5,
chat.
no.
Someone in chat, let me know what DSM-5 means. But anyway, you don't have to. But here you go. The cluster B complexes, right? Because you have basically certain personality complexes that sort of have certain commonalities, but there are still yet distinctions. So as a category, we have the cluster B category, and loosely speaking, they denote the dramatic, emotional, and erratic cluster of personality traits. Okay, and the 4 personality types in the cluster B are as follows: antisocial personality disorder, histrionic personality disorder, narcissistic personality disorder, and borderline personality disorder. I once thought I had borderline personality disorder, and then I realized I have a soul. So I realized I'm okay. But yeah, so basically we can all have traits of any of these. You know, for instance, histrionic describes, I don't know if you know this, people who are just completely over the top and all over the place, and a one thing 1 minute and another thing another minute. Sometimes confused with bipolar disorder or whatever.
Yeah.
So and what I might what I might quickly do is give you a quick overview of each of the personality types, actually, because they are interesting. You know, just to see what the cluster B is denoting. Like I said, here you go. So if I start with, where's that first one? Oh yeah, if I start with, this is the psychopath sociopath. Okay. The antisocial personality disorder is characterized by a pervasive pattern of disregard for the rights of other people that often manifests as hostility and or aggression, active shooter, deceit and manipulation are also central features. So without getting too much into that, I'm going to leave it there, and let's move on to the histrionic personality disorder. Persons with histrionic personality disorder are characterized by a pattern of excessive emotionality and attention seeking. Their lives are full of drama, so-called drama queens. They are uncomfortable in situations where they are not the center of attention. Wink, wink, me, 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 me. By the way, guys, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Okay. Narcissistic personality disorder, and I'm going to get you in real soon, me. So I do apologize. Just I thought this is a fun little thing just to lay out. You know?
No problem.
Much respect. Narcissistic personality disorder. People with narcissistic personality disorder have significant problems with their sense of self-worth, as I was laying out earlier, stemming from a powerful sense of entitlement. Right. This leads them to believe they deserve special treatment and to assume they have special powers. It is true in my case, guys. That doesn't mean I am one. Just because I'm fucking really, really talented. Are uniquely talented. Oh shit. Or that they are especially brilliant or attractive. Come on, guys. Don't make me blush. Their sense of entitlement can lead them to act in ways that fundamentally disregard and disrespect the worth of those around them. Okay. And then lastly, just lay this out really quickly, borderline personality disorder. Borderline personality disorder is one of the most widely studied personality disorders. People with borderline personality disorder tend to experience intense and unstable emotions and moods, active shooter, that can swift, that can, right, I think they've miswritten something here, but that can swift fairly quickly. That can, I guess, change fairly quickly or something. they generally have a hard time calming down once they have become upset. That did used to be true of me once upon a time, by the way. I think that's why I thought I might have been one. As a result, they frequently, and the actual fact is, I probably was having dealings with a covert narcissist and didn't know it. Not to give them all the blame, because these personality structures can sort of grow in response to one another as well. So it's interesting. As a result, they frequently have angry outbursts and engage in impulsive behaviors such as substance abuse, active shooter, you fucking heroin addict, risky sexual liaisons, Dan Demantra, and self-injury, overspending, or binge eating. Who's that remind you of me? You don't have to tell me, but who does that?
What, the binge eating?
Oh, yeah, actually, yeah. No, not the binge eating. What was it? Well, don't worry about it anyway, but hey, these behaviors often function to soothe them. To soothe them in the short term, but harm them in the long term. So yeah, you generally, I think, as a general overview, that touches on what the cluster B type complexes are, and they're just really scary. They are scary, So, penny for your thoughts, me.
Yeah.
I just thought that'd be really cool to get that in there, laid out.
It's just a crazy journey with these people, isn't it? And I think, it's not about diagnosing them necessarily, but just being aware of the warning signs, because there's a lot of toxicity and dysfunction there. So
Mhm.
the sooner you can remove yourself from that situation, the better, really, because
Yeah,
there's no
yeah.
negotiating with them at all,
No, not at all. It's literally like, for anyone, it's basically like being in a relationship with Bill Gates. It's like whatever you do, he's always gonna want to kill everybody, right?
Well, yeah.
There's nothing you can do. There's literally no negotiating. They are criminally insane. Their personality structure is nothing like an empath's at all. There's no bottom
Yeah.
to it. There's no base. There's no foundation that's rational, essentially. So there's no
No, not
rationalizing with
at
them
all.
fundamentally. Right.
But
I'll just
that's where
read
it
this.
becomes
Oh yeah.
so tricky,
No,
isn't it?
no, go on, me.
Because
Carry on. Sorry.
once you get involved in that situation, I mean, 9 times out of 10, you're already deeply entangled in it. So it's really difficult to see the wood for the trees,
Yeah.
you know?
Absolutely. Barry Browning is saying, true story. I realized after 3.5 years she was a narcissist because she called me one. Because she called me one. Yeah, brother, I've totally had that's called projection, as you probably know. But yeah, projection. Exactly. First port of call for any of those clusters is absolutely projection, no doubt about it. I thought maybe I need to study up on that. In fact, by the way, very quickly, I'm sure you've recognized it, but even in the mainstream media, and I'll just, some people are better versed in this than others. I'd imagine Woodland, you're possibly somewhat naive to this, but some people in the chat will know what I mean when I say this. They say, remember the phrase they started to try and popularize in the mainstream media, right-wing popularism. And actually, Milo, I even wonder if you've heard that term coined by the media.
I've heard it mentioned, but not via the media.
Okay, fair enough. Well, basically, that is a similar tactic. What the media was essentially trying to do was make toxic any legitimate movement against the establishment by calling it right-wing.
Yeah.
They were able to sort of make it, and this is what they always do, they try and make it so that you're now untouchable, so that no one will defend you if you're associated with that group. So they'll call you white supremacists when really your issue is unfair access to all races within the school system, let's say, or something, or you call it, this is the playbook of honestly the establishment. So the establishment is
Yeah.
absolutely it's projecting, using all the same traits as a sort of, psychopathic sort of playbook, basically, right?
Yeah, definitely. And the culture we're living in is sort of enabling this behavior, really.
Well
It's
said. Exactly.
encouraging, abusive
Right.
interactions, and it's
Right.
not
So if you
on.
don't understand it, on the micro and the personal, and this is why this is an interesting subject to get into, then you're not going to recognize the sort of the way it's playing out in the culture right now. Absolutely. And I know
Yeah, yeah,
Jamila, she intuitively has figured all this out, even though she's not, engaging with the sort of information I am, but she still sees it anyway, which is quite interesting when two people from disparate vantage points see the same thing. Okay.
yeah,
It's like
yeah,
real
definitely. But I
confirmation
think
that.
it is important as well for us, as in us humans, to be discussing this kind of thing and stop being passive about it, because we then become part of the problem. We're enabling it, and we're pushing the victim or the experiencer further into like a muted kind of suffering. And that cycle then just continues over and over.
A 1,000,000%. And one of the things I will just say, one of the upsides of what's the establishment pushing so fucking hard at the moment, and going ever more into the irrational gaslighting domain, where it's
Yeah.
undeniable at this point, really, the agenda that they're trying to presume is normal or rational or sensible. Okay, because they're trying to move the Overton window. I don't know of you lot who know that phrase, but look it up if you don't know it. It's basically that which is seen to be what you call it, that which is deemed reasonable to assume is what the Overton window denotes. It's the parameters within which those opinions are considered reasonable for that day and age. Well, to move the Overton window is to change that which is considered reasonable, and the media are in that game on behalf of the establishment, lockstep with the psychopathic establishment at this rate. And I was just going to say, what's good actually at the moment is you look at any of the news stories to do with the new lockdowns, you could see them trying to flirt with it. You can see them trying to flirt with the idea of bringing new lockdowns, that the death numbers are going up, all this crap. The public aren't having it at
Well,
this rate. Like
in
the one.
in covert narcissism, that would be looked at as like a mock execution. So you're putting the
Oh,
fear into people or that person. It's like the fear of torture or like psychological
wow.
warfare, but not actually going through with it. But the fear is enough to disable you, basically.
Brilliant. You know what? Like that makes me. I think the next one we do that's similar to this, maybe for next week, then should be all about fear, as the establishment has always used it to control populations, because there's a whole literature on that. And I've got a particular video in question that I'd like to sort of watch next week with you, Jamila, and see what you make of
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
But right on,
Definitely.
man. I'll finish this thought then. So I thought maybe this is Barry Browning. I thought maybe I need to study up on that. One of the things I learned was how they forecast. Do you know what that means, me? How they forecast? I haven't quite caught that
Probably.
meaning.
Barry, with that, do you mean like projecting something into the future? Is that what you mean?
Oh, predicting. Yeah, okay. Oh well, yeah. I'm not sure, Barry Brown. If you want to unpack that, please do. Thanks, Barry Browning. Some of them will accuse you of doing what they have actually done. Yeah, projection, 1,000,000% do it all day long. They're total psychos at the end of the day with no emotions. Well, sorry, that's not true. They do have emotions. They just don't have empathy. Yeah, or a
Yeah.
growth mindset.
You know what's
Um,
just occurred to me as well? So
mm,
when you're entwined with a covert narcissist, there's almost this obsession. You become obsessed with trying to figure out what the hell is going on, firstly. But we can
right.
also apply that to what's going on out there in the world at the moment. Like, people are getting obsessed with the news. They want as much information as possible, but actually what it's doing is stirring up the fear in everybody,
Mhm.
which is kind of working to the result they want, I guess.
Right. I suppose that's where you become well, I call those sorts of people that are particularly susceptible um, when it comes to doing the establishment's bidding. The idiot, what do I actually refer to them as? Uh, The idiot. Do you know what? I've got a particular term that I call them, but it's the useful idiots. That's it. The useful idiots. There you go. They play right into the playbook, right into the hands. They
So
help give
they
us.
become
Go on.
maybe the flying monkeys in narcissistic terms. Have you heard of that?
No. What's that?
So a covert narcissist will have what they call flying monkeys, and they're other sources or other supplies that they keep around them that are also victims to this manipulation, but he or she has them perfectly in place so they can apply their torture or whatever it is they want to apply. Have you not heard of that?
Oh, right. It comes from Wizard of Oz, then presumably, no?
Well, that's what
Like the
I think. Yeah,
witch,
yeah,
right? They're the helpers. They become the helpers of the narcissist, basically.
they do. And I'm not sure if this is true, but it would appear that maybe flying monkeys are kind of codependent.
Right. Yeah. I reckon you're exactly right about that. Damn it! I've just found. You know what? I found a perfect little article, but you know when it's trying to get you to accept all the fucking cookies. How about fuck you? Right. Let me just see. This is interesting to me. I've never heard of that before, but that's brilliant. A narcissist's flying monkey plus 3 tactics to disarm them. Let's just see what this says. The term flying monkeys refers to abuse by proxy or having someone else perform the bidding of another person, in this case, an narcissist. And by the way, that's got to refer to presumably the Wicked Witch of the West, was it? I forget, or was it the East or the North or the South? I don't know. From Thingy, wasn't it? Follow the Yellow
One of
Brick
the
Road.
directions.
Wizard of Oz, yes. Okay. Anyone who grew up watching The Wizard of Oz, here it is, will recall how frightening the Wicked Witch of the West winning flying monkeys were. I just got my little dose of supply for being right. The phrase this is really interesting me. The phrase "flying monkey" was coined in reference to the flying monkeys in The Wizard of Oz, who were shown to serve the Wicked Witch of the West against Dorothy and her comrades. You know what? Without reading any more, yeah, that's really fucking interesting, man. Thanks for telling me about that.
No problem.
So that, yeah, absolutely. So basically, that's exactly right. That's the dynamic. The establishment are using all of the gullible useful idiots to push through
Yeah.
their agenda. It's always been how they got it through, and that's how they do it. Mr. Hugh, do we all exist on a narcissistic scale? I have my opinion about that. I want to hear Woodland's. My personal opinion on that is to say the narcissistic personality structure is essentially one that is warped fundamentally because it's absent the empathy structure, the empathy component. That's how I would think of it myself, because a personality absent the empathy component can give rise to any of the essentially cluster B personality structures. But
Yeah.
so I would argue that, are we on a scale? Yes and no, but primarily, if you actually have the capabilities of generating compassion properly, then not to the point where it's a pathology. Perhaps you can have your moments, mate, when you're a bit hungry and you want to kill your dog. But yeah, what do you think, mate? That's my take on that. But
I think that's an excellent question, Mr. Hugh. And yeah, I do think, well, because we all have egos, I think, yeah, we're all somewhere on the scale. But like you said, Pete, what would tell you for sure if you were a narcissist or not is, do you have empathy? Do you have compassion? And if you don't, then the chances are you're
a
in
fucking
there.
freak. Get away from me.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go on. Dan Dementia cringe. What are you cringing about? What are you cringing about, man?
Tell us, Dan.
Yeah, what are you cringing, dude? No one else is cringing. Are you watching The Office in the background? Are you double streaming with The Office? I'm funnier. Uncle Bones 2. Yes, Hiveless. Ignore the forgettable child. Oh, the forgettable child. Maybe you're right.
How sad. What an awful thing to do.
It's the worst, mate. You literally divvy up your kids into the golden child, the forgettable child. Oh, hang on. I
Yeah.
just heard myself on your speaker. And yeah, the what was it? Golden Shot. Oh, and the black sheep. Yeah, fucking hell. But yeah, essentially, you all know it, guys. But you know, I am a black sheep. That's why I am the way I am, basically. Yeah, and I feel very strongly about the truth and representing it for that reason, because I know the dysfunctionality of toxic families. Anyway, active shooter, brand, and I've got to wind it down real soon, guys, because it's one of those. Until I get into my new flat, I've got to, you know, peeps is going to beds and ting around this time. But actually, oh, here we go. Active shooter, Brandy is really a 73-year-old man. I'm sure that is relevant to something that was being said at the time. So I'm going to just assume that was hilarious, active shooter. Okay. Okay. Barry Browning, Mr. Hugh, we all have narcissistic traits, or we can have them. That's right. Doesn't make you a full-blown narcissist. Yeah, that pretty much speaks to what I was saying. I think that's my take on it too, basically. So right on. Okay, I don't know what was hilarious, but okay. Uncle Bones, Hiveless B, Michelle. Is that flat Earth link I left you above? He is legit. Michelle, is that flat Earth link? Right, Uncle Bones. Yeah, I'm a little confused. I think is yeah, you're gonna. Michelle is Ray and related to that flat Earth link. I'm gonna check that out later for sure. So Michelle, Ray, let me get back to you, man. I look forward to totally watching that later, man. Thanks. Mila, why don't you get this one?
Dan Demantra. Hi, Dan. Can we hear more from Woodland Warrior? She sounds like she's got a lot of insight. Why not let her speak more? I don't know about that, Dan. But thank you. That's a very nice thing to say.
Dan Demantra, you are a fucking narcissist. You're already trying to turn everyone against everyone. I've got my eye on you, Dan Demantra. If you continue to display cluster B type personality traits, I'll have to banish you. Careful, Dan. If I am the host, that's why I get to speak the most. And also, yeah, Woodland Warriors is still finding her feet with this thing. I'm actually being a gentleman more than you are giving me credit for. So fuck you very much, Dan Demantra. Watching you, I am. Icon says, Mr. No, you have a DSM in front of you, and you can't read the full name on the title page. What does that? I mean, I don't know why I'm asking you, Jamila. I mean, what does that even mean?
I have no idea.
It's in front of you. You can't even read the full name on the title page. Right. I'm not sure if that's for me, Icon, and if it is, yeah, not getting that right this second. Sorry, bro. Barry Browning, Dan, she is a whole lot easier to listen to. Barry Browning, skirting very close to banishment yourself now, so you are. Uncle Bones, too. Although I know Barry Browning means it with love and in a fun way. Uncle Bones, too. Michelle, if you are still here, Hobbs is into guitars. Okay, then. Good to know. Active shooter, Hiveless is okay then because he doesn't have a personality. Well, that is
Roasting.
kind of. Say that again, go on.
Roasting.
I know. Well, I mean, that's like sort of trying to insult someone who's painted gold for not being the color gold. Active shooter. I mean, I've got bags of personality, mate. I mean, do another one. Try another one. Try again. Mr. Hugh, they say a psychopath is born that way, a sociopath is made that way. Mr. Hugh, I've heard that theory and I totally subscribe to that. I was actually explaining to someone who probably is a sociopath the difference, and I laid it out in those terms, and I do believe that's the case. It's a theory because the terms aren't sort of recognized per se in that sense in the literature. But yeah, I do believe that's a good way to denote them. The psychopath is essentially born, or if it was trauma based, it's so early in maybe even their experience in the womb that it's untraceable. Whereas in the sociopath's case, yes, absolutely, it seems like a early childhood trauma. Yeah. So there you go. Go on, me. You get this then, if you want.
Active shooter. Oi, I'm being picked on. I have feelings, you know. We know you do. By the way, Active, you really made me laugh the other night on one of the streams.
Oh yeah. What was that?
You mentioned something about you was kind of typing your thoughts out. I don't know. I don't remember it, but it did make me laugh. I almost spat my tea out, which was cool.
Yay. Total endorsement from the Woodland Warriors active shooter. Totally gonna happen now. He did buy you. Do you remember that? Remember when he bought you for 50p?
For 50p though, I mean, come on.
I mean, you went with it.
Well, I didn't because I didn't have change.
I know, yeah. Well, you didn't. That's true, actually. Yeah, you didn't. And then I sort of pretended that it was happening. And you technically, she is right, actually. True. Okay, then. All right, let's see. Hobbs, active shooter, brought it on yourself, mate. Yeah, it's your fault, active shooter. And everybody kick active shooter while he's down right now. Okay. Paul from Newcastle. Hi, Hilus B. Oh my God, he just won me over with the fucking B. Well, I think you've already got a spanner anyway, mate, ain't you? You know what? I've just saw Doombot, and I know I'm not there yet, Doombot, but you do deserve a spanner, mate, because I think you came in so strong the first night that, yeah, there you go. You got a spanner now, hopefully, Doombot, because you're hilarious. What are we saying? Oh, you're just saying hello to everyone, Paul from Newcastle. Beautiful use of emojis again. Paul from Newcastle. He is good at that, isn't he? Are you an interior decorator, Paul from Newcastle? And also, are you Pauline from Newcastle on the weekends? It's a lot of pretty emojis you could be using over there. I'm not judging at all. Let me see. Active shooter. All right, Paul. Is it true that Geordies are now praying to Allah? Yeah, Newcastle is now in Pakistan, everybody. So too is Birmingham. That's not a racist joke. It's not. If you check, what's racist about suggesting that a place is somewhere else? Nothing. It was in your imagination. Projection. You are a sociopath. Fuck you. Paul from Newcastle, active shooter. I lost interest. By the way, and not that it doesn't matter when the establishment is deliberately augmenting the demographics of a nation in order to undermine it and bring it down. And for anyone who doesn't know otherwise, that's what's going on. You're a fucking retard. It's happening. That's the point. And it's the mainstream media that's gaslighting you into thinking that, shit, if I have an opinion about it, I'm a white supremacist. Well, there you go. Get over it. That's the truth. Like we're talking about now, that's the media gaslighting you. That's the psychopathic establishment fucking with your brain. Paul from Newcastle, active shooter. I lost interest in football over 20 years ago. Millionaires kicking a bag of air. Paul from Newcastle, couldn't agree more, mate. That's my take on it. And 1,000,000% yes, absolutely. Clapping, Icon agrees, and I agree too. Good. Active shooter. Oh, Wizard of Oz. Is that how you wanted me to say that, Active? I'm glad I did say it that way. Saggy Paul, hi all, hi Shields. Hello, Saggy. You know what? I do want to get Woodland Wireless more into this, actually. I really do. So actually, Woodland, let's get into it, man. I want to hear more from you myself too. So have you got any other things that you want to sort of lay out?
Well, I noticed actually that is it Mr. Boston?
Oh yeah. I noticed
asked,
Boston was in.
what's the most religious vegetable? And that's kind of been distracting me actually. Corn on the cob, possibly.
Go on, explain. I don't know.
There's
Explain.
no explanation sometimes with religion. You just feel it, don't you? And I have faith that corn on the cob is the way forward.
Interesting. Well, it's interesting that the word corn is like the word corny, and corny is like the word sentimental, and sentimental is like the word faithful or religious. And so corny on the cob is like sentimental on the cob.
Gross.
I don't know. I tried. Active shooter, the Joker is off the scale. The Joker is off the scale. What? Oh, the Joker's a sociopath. Yeah, well, the Joker is a sociopath, but he's Uncle Joker now. But they say that sociopath. In fact, I do wonder myself whether or not people on the sociopathic scale, if they're not too far gone, can't maybe show a little sign of potential reform. Now, that's probably controversial because many people would say that, that's not possible. But in particular, in the case of the sociopath, and possibly even the, I don't know, maybe the borderline, I do think maybe there's a way back, like Uncle Joker. You see? Thoughts on that, me? I mean, I don't know what you think about that, honestly. That's my gut, but my instinct.
Well, I'm not sure. I think previously I was always very hopeful that it was possible for anybody to change and that fundamentally we're all good. But I'm not so sure these days. I don't know. Maybe I'm a bit weathered by the storm.
Yeah, I mean, some people are lost cause. I've tried to get through to people that I just don't are not structured in a way so as to prioritize good, true information. Well, truth, essentially. Some people are just, in fact, probably predominantly people are not structured in a way so as to seek primarily truth. And as far as I'm concerned, that is the optimal way to be structured. But also, one has to accept that it takes all sorts, and yeah, who knows? But I'm going to represent that position because that's what I'm all about myself. Segipor B, you're about as funny as Shooter standing outside an orphanage. but
Wow.
killing children is hilarious, Segipor. Whatever do you mean? And by the way, active shooter, that is I've said it before. That is a what do you call it? What do you call school shooter? Oh yeah, school shooter is about. In fact, you should change your name to school shooter, active shooter. Yeah, I actually think that. Good suggestion, Sagipur. Fucking evil. Mr. Boston, what's the most religious veg? Well, we did that one. Oh, very good. Okay, we're caught up at least. Sagipur, Mr. Boston, is it the virgin period? What's that mean?
The Virgin Peri.
What's Perry?
As in Virgin Mary.
Oh, as in a pear. Oh my god. Sagipur, that's fucking hilarious, mate. Is it the Virgin Perry? Sagipur, you definitely. Who did you buy a sense of humor off, Sagipur? You're way more funny now than you used to be. That is funny, isn't it?
It is funny. Although, strictly speaking, a pear is a fruit.
Sagipur.
Back to the drawing board, Sagipur. We need a vegetable.
You just got roasted by Woodland Warrioress and just facts. Sorry, mate. Nice try, though. Let's see. Damn, I'm gonna have to meditate on that. I'm not witty enough. Shit. Mr. Boston, very funny. Most religious veg. Well, we'll go on then, Mr. Boston. You're gonna have to tell us, aren't you? But let me get back to you on that. Active shooter, what's your email address, Busby? Right. It's has he figured it? Okay, active shooter, I'm going to say this in code because you've heard enough from me that you'd probably be able to figure this out. It's my name at hotmail.com. Okay. My actual name. And actually, is it without the R, active shooter? Okay. My actual name without the R, full name. And but not all three of the names, only two of the names. My first name and my surname, spelled correctly, not like Michael, at hotmail.com. And I'll if you message me in one of the comments of the videos, mate, I'll hook you up that way, mate, or something. But we'll do it, man. Sagipur, Mr. Boston, the leak shall inherit the earth. Oh my god, shit. Go on, mate. Give me more. You got any good ones? I have to come up with one now. Let me see.
Come up with one. What? A vegetable?
Oh, like a religious vegetable. I'm gonna have to do this now, aren't I? Because that
I came up.
totally.
It's not really a vegetable, but it's a food type. Finder's Christ pancakes.
Hang on a second. Did you mention that in another stream? No, am I wrong about that? Oh no, Mr. Boston might have done. What is that? What did you just read out?
What? Are you serious? What?
No, I don't know. Say it again. No, I might be wrong. Go on, say it again.
Finder's Christ pancakes.
Is that your attempt to satisfy the requirement of this particular thing, but you've done it with not a vegetable and pancakes instead?
I did preempt it with it's not a vegetable, it's a food. Well, kind of.
Oh, okay, all right. I'll let you off the hook then. Okay, then. I'm not judging. Let me see, man.
Thank you.
I'm drawing a blank. You know, I know it's not used to me to do that, but yeah, it's not that bit of my connective tissue. Maybe I just don't know enough vegetables. Fuck. Damn. Oh my God. You got me, man. You got me, Boston. Fucking hell. Well, Saggy Paw for the win then. Saggy Paw for the win. Hobbs have just checked out Michelle L's channel, Defo FE. Oh, well, all right then. Well, Michelle, stop being shy. Get back in here and start flirting with you and pretending you might be a troll. But yeah, get back in, man. Forgive me. It's just, you know, shoot first, ask questions later. Just my style. That's all. Barry Browning, no, not really. Okay then. Right. Sagipur, he got his bags of personality off eBay. Yes, indeed. Doombot 9000 just downloaded Empathy X. Execute. Am I a real Bobat now? Am I a real Bobat now? Yes, you are, Doombot. You also joined my cult. You've also joined the Bee Masons. I hope you're happy. Wow, made into a real Ooman and joined my cult all in the same day.
Wow,
You may
that's
rest
good.
now. I know. Up the bee. Thank you. Thank you. Boy, yes, boy. Well done. Well done. Human emotions are just a program. Probably true, actually. Barry Browning, how does someone with an IQ of 200 read so slow? Because all of my RAM is dedicated to being really, really fucking hilarious. And I'm not able to read very fast. It's just a trade-off. But totally 200 IQ still. Uncle, but in fact, and just joking aside, Barry Browning, I once did an intelligence test where time wasn't a feature. So what I did was just not time it. You were meant to do it within a particular allotted time. I got 160 IQ with no time constraints. That's an interesting one because that implies that it implies many different things, and only someone with 160 IQ would know what they are. Interesting. But I've got low RAM, mate. That's what lets me down. Very low RAM. Uncle Bones 2, yes, Barry. Here we go. Oh, you can get this one, me, if you want.
Paul from Newcastle. Funny you say that. I met my female side on my birthday at 47/11 in 2018. 11. Next day, had Kundalini experience. There you go. It's all the 11s, isn't it?
Whoa. Well, actually,
Wow.
I'll tell you. Well, I might just say this. It's totally irrelevant, kind of. But wasn't yesterday the 11th of October? Is that right or not?
Yes, it was.
So I actually started streaming a month ago. I've actually privated the two videos. I don't know why I did that, but I privated the two videos that I started off doing. But I might put them back on anyway, just so the whole complete journey's there. But basically, it was boomer audio, but you know, it was okay. I think I was doing it as the Joker. I think that's why I privated it, because I've sort of just started to be myself now. But yeah, it started exactly a month ago. Yesterday on 9/11, right? So it's funny that you know, for anyone who was watching yesterday, that it came to a strange crescendo yesterday. Well, interestingly enough, it was exactly a month to the day that I started streaming, and I joked that a portal opened 20 years to the day that 9/11 had ended, and that's when I came on the scene. How special am I? Total narcissist. Thank you. Yeah.
A nunion.
Did you
I
say
like
that just so you could win, Paul? Did you set that up so you could fucking win?
I like it.
Okay then. Shit, I'm still sort of gutted that I haven't. I've got to come back. I've got to make this good. Ah, damn it. Yeah. It's really annoying me that I can't think of one. Damn it. Yeah, it's just not getting one, mate. Sorry, mate. You win. You and Sagapur win. Barry Browning, and then he tells us he's got to wrap it up. Sorry, the new flat What?
Oh, that's you mentioning earlier that you were going to wrap it up because you're not in your new flat yet.
Right. Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Thank you. I know. Yeah. Well, I didn't, did I? But I'm just saying I got to be a bit quieter. Mr. Boston, haha. Virgin berry is the most religious fruit. That's right. But the nunion
Definitely.
is the most religious vegetable. All right. Fair play. Fair play. What about the banana? Oh shit. Active shooter. Sorry, I wrote that wrong. Meant to write. What's your email address, Woody? All right. He wants to correspond with you, Woodland.
Active. You're going to need to put down a lot more than 50p to get my email address. Not that there's a price on it, of course, but
Everyone's got a fucking price, shooter. Everyone's got a fucking price. Shooters is a bag of skag. Yeah. I don't know what your price is, Woodland. Not that you'd admit that you've got one, but you probably do.
price for what?
An indecent. What's that film called again? Proposal. I don't know.
Indecent proposal.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'll ponder it.
Okay.
But no.
Let
no.
active shooter know. But no. But yeah. But no. Yeah. Sagipur, don't mock pair misses, then come up with crispy pancakes. Yeah, I think that's fair.
That's very fair. But it wasn't crispy. It was Christ pea.
Crispy. That is very funny. But not that I'd know how to spell. Oh yeah, with an H, presumably, mate. I don't know. Right? Is it?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but
Mr.
still.
Hugh, good night all. Stay safe till next time. Well, Mr. Hughes decided that I should end the show.
Night,
Yeah,
Mr. Hugh.
Night, Hugh. Take it easy, bruv. Take it easy. Sagipur, no, Mr. Hugh. And you know what? We are kind of there, though, to be fair. Barry Browning, I got 270 yawn of what? Oh, IQ. Well done. Well done. Almost as smart as the robot guy. Uncle Bones, good night, Mr. Hugh. Sorry, Uncle Bones, if I scared your friend away. But yeah, Michelle, come back. I didn't realize you were actual, real, living, breathing women. Barry Browning, I'm sorry, I meant 27. Yes, that's why you're yawning. Too much effort to be alive for someone with the IQ of 27. Active shooter, where's Morticia? We're not speaking now, and it's not my fault. But also, yeah, I'm in the doghouse, but I do hope she comes round and realizes that I had no choice at all. I really didn't, because with something like that, it's bigger than just her own personal feelings about the matter. And so, I don't want to get into it, but yeah, I've sent correspondence and hopefully it receives her well and she understands. But we are currently communications are closed down at the moment. But I'm not going to get into that because that's partly the reason she don't want to talk to me. But anyway, I kind of get it, but whatever. Hey, man, for anyone who can't see why I had to do that yesterday and that the rationale wasn't self-evident in a way, although I will I understand that it's look, she did the right thing and I did the right thing, okay? And the right thing wasn't an easy, obvious thing that I had to do, but fuck it. You know what? You can't be going around saying that fucking shit and stirring that sort of shit up without something very big, bold, clear, on the record response. I had little choice as far as I'm concerned. The alternative, I think the alternative you have to appreciate is was a very long drawn out game of fucking me not being able to let on that I knew something that I'm not meant to have known. hell if you're listening. So I'm not going to play that game. So because I realized that was the alternative, I thought, fuck that for a fucking laugh. I'm going to clear this thing up now. I don't want to get into it again, but there you go. I don't mind just sort of saying that much, but what do you think?
I'm just interested in what it was that gave it away.
What do you mean?
77.
Oh, what gave it? Yeah, exactly. It's not like I've fucking done anything that was apart from being really, really fucking hilarious. I mean, what is that going to disrupt the fucking truth movement? Isn't it me being funny? Is that what you mean? I don't know. I don't know what you mean. Anyway, we don't have to get into that, but whatever.
Moving on.
Although you can say something of yourself if you want, Woodland, on the troll accusation. You did get accused of being a troll. So if you want to say anything on the record yourself, you are absolutely welcome to do it.
I haven't really got anything to say. I don't mind being called a troll.
Good answer. I do mind being called a British deep state fucking spy. I do mind that. But moving on. Mr. Boston, haha, I didn't set it up so I can win, mate. No, I'm playing, dude. It's just a joke, but I guess everyone wanted to do their own jokes, and it's hard to think of one on the spot. No, you're fine, Paul. It was hilarious. I'm just playing, dude. What's this? Peace be with you. You know, I did think of that one in the back of my mind, dude. Oh no, I didn't quite think of that one. I was trying to think of like world peas or something like that, but yeah, it didn't work, and so I didn't bother. But anyway, Paul from Newcastle. Woodland has a lovely voice. Woodland.
Thank you, Paul. That's very sweet of you.
Well, he wants to hear your voice, man. I'm giving you the floor.
Hello, 'tis I. Yeah, I feel a bit pressurised now, to be honest. I'm going to eat.
Say something
raisin.
clever now. Come on.
No, I won't do it. I won't do it.
Oh, reverse psychology. Don't say something clever right now.
No, that's not going to work. I'm eating my raisins.
Well, fair enough. Woodland Warrioress is shy too, Paul. Which is yes. Well, no, you're not really shy though, are you, honey? But it's okay. It's okay. It is quite a strange format, so that's okay. No pressure. Barry Browning, anybody want to bet on when he finally finishes reading the comments? Yeah, well, you know. Seg report. Most religious vegetable. Jesus Christ, I hate Swedes. I hate Swede. Sorry. Jesus Christ, I hate Swede. I don't get that. Explain that to me.
It's just in the sentence, I guess, isn't it? Rather than the vegetable. I found it funny.
Okay, fine. I thought it was shit, but okay. Songs that make the girl laugh. Hey, Jen, how you doing? Lettuce is the most religious variable. Let us pray. Jen wins. Paul. Jen fucking wins. That's genius. I'll see myself out. Oh, Jen winning. Jen, fucking hell. Way to just totally minimal effort. Fucking take all the swag. Wow. Jen, are you a fucking... Actually, is Jen a fucking mod yet? Because, oh my God, Jen, you just totally get to be a mod now. That's the rules. If you're fucking hilarious, you get to be a mod. Unless you're a fucking psychopath and you come in here trying to sow discord, in which case you don't get to be a fucking mod. Okay? And that's not a threat to you, Jen. That's a threat to, well, anyone else who's not Jen, who's trying to do that. Icon sees Miss No, damn it. Now I'm not getting my free kitty ears. Is that a PewDiePie reference or what? What is that?
What Active just said.
Oh no, Icon's saying, damn it, I'm not getting my free kitty ears. I'm missing the relevance of that, but okay then. Active shooter, but Woody said you should disengage.
Yes.
What does that mean?
So
what's that?
The grey rock thing. So not giving any energy to the situation at all. And yes, that
Oh,
is
I know what active shooter. By the way, I'm just going to say this to active shooter, and I'm not going to get into it, but I'm with you, brother. And thanks for the fucking support. I'm going to say no more on it, but I'm hearing. I hear you, dude. And you're right. And look, hey, I had a little moment. I'm gonna fucking forget it now. Okay, like starting now. Starting now. Okay. Yes.
well done.
Thank you. Were you just saying something to me? Because I did sort of butt in. I don't want to do that, but I don't really want to get into it as well. Because whatever.
We're grey rocking it.
Yeah. And by the way, there's no relationship to this stream and all that shit. By the way, just in case anyone is confused about that, this is totally because Barry Browning said his ex-missus was a narcissist, and everyone was a fucking expert on narcissism. I'm like, fuck, my chat's full of empaths. How cool. Except active shooter, who really is an empath, and I'm just roasting him. Active shooter, or I don't know active shooter, but probably. Active shooter, are you Captain Stinker, Woody? Yeah, Woody, the troll.
Who's Captain Stinker? Oh.
Well, Captain Stinker's Penny's troll, and then Penny accused you of being her troll. So that's what active shooter's asking you. He's asking, are you Penny's troll?
Oh, no, I'm not.
No, she's not. She doesn't even know what a troll is. She's very innocent. She's had her head out of all that, so no, definitely not. Active shooter, well done, Jen. You win. Yeah, Jen wins.
Definitely.
She wins all the swag. She does. Barry Browning, that was as good as anyone else, Jen. Absolutely.
Yes.
It was better than everyone else's. I can't believe I haven't come up with the goods, man. I just cannot. That's the first time I ain't been more hilarious than everyone else in the fucking chat. All you fruit flyers. You fruit flyers win, man, this time. Yeah. Okay, you know what? It's an old Buddhist sort of, what do you call it, idiom or something? Accept defeat and offer the victory to others. So I'll accept defeat on this occasion. Okay.
That's very honourable of you.
Thank you. All right. I'm trying to not appear like a total psychopath. I don't know. Anyway, do you want to get this one, mate? Do you want to get a few? Why not?
Saggy Paul. Woody will now always be known to me as Christ P. Pancake.
Yeah.
Thanks, Saggy.
Yeah.
I'll take that. Jen, thanks, Shooter and Barry.
Cool.
Uncle Bones, you win, Jen. Yes,
Totally
I agree.
win. Yeah, for the win. FUB. Sorry, Sagable. That's because I probably said it was shit, but I'm only playing. Let us be.
Oh.
Let us be. Oh my God. Well done. Well done, Paul from Newcastle. I love it. And I think that's the end of the night, isn't it? Barry Browning. Correction, Hiveless. She's the high priestess of narcissism.
Oh.
Right, your missus, you mean, right? Well, dude, I don't doubt it, man. Yeah, I don't doubt it. She stole your dog and don't let you get access, then yeah, man, that's not very nice. But by the way, Barry Brown, even though I totally misconstrued what you were on about yesterday, I will just say, it's true. If she knows she can control you with that, she'll continue. If you need to let it, you need to let that go and let her know in no uncertain terms that she cannot control you with access to the dog. And as soon as you can communicate that very clearly and definitely, she will try a different tact. I promise you. And she might even use the dog to kind of get contact with you as well. But thoughts on that, me? I don't know if you got thoughts on that, but that's my thoughts.
Grey Rocket, baby.
Grey Rocket. All right. Well, actually, oh yeah, Barry Browning, and it kills her because I give a fuck. Now I don't. Right. Well, right. Well, don't do it exactly. Yeah, don't give a fuck. Active shooter, check your email, shithead. Yes, sir. I will do. Thank you. And if it didn't come through, we'll figure it out together. Cool. What was I going to say? Because I need to know the location for the new dog in sight active. Yeah. Let me know. Let me know where and when. And no, man, it's not that kind of stream. Shit, it's a sensible Covert Narcissist stream, right? Can't make jokes. So, Barry Browning, I'm not talking to her. I gave up. Oh, sorry, I have him up. What?
I gave him up, I think.
Oh, I gave him up. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Wow, my subconscious almost knew that's what you meant. Well, guys, I didn't actually. You know what? I didn't get into. But to be fair, I might just leave it there anyway. You remember I sort of laid out the. I said I was going to get into the tactics frequently used by covert narcissists.
Well, there's a whole list, isn't there, of really clear signs and things that they do.
Right. And so I didn't actually get to go into it because I've got them all there. But I could also we might get to go into them in the future. I found it quite interesting. You know what I might even do? Maybe on a random stream, when I'm just doing a chill stream, I might even sort of throw them out at that point or something. But hey,
Yeah.
but guys, it's been okay, hasn't it? What you way to undersell yourself, B. What do you think, me? You got any thoughts at all? Anything you want to get into yourself?
Well, something I've got written in front of me here is trauma bonding as like a little side note to mention with
Right.
covert narcissists.
Okay.
So it's like a simultaneous display of them being a savior, but they're also your torturer. So it puts you in this really difficult space of dissonance. It's cognitive dissonance. So that creates so much confusion, and it seriously affects your health. So this is why it's so important to spot these signs and get out of there as soon as you can, really.
Yeah.
Have you heard of that before, the cognitive
Trauma, I've heard.
dissonance?
Well, I know cognitive dissonance very, very well as a term because that's
Yeah.
actually a term that's sort of very popular amongst the sort of political circles I wander around in describing a sort of the what is it? The condition of kind of believing two opposing things simultaneously. In fact, or rather, I should say. Oh no, sorry. I should say the inability to comprehend something that doesn't chime with your preset beliefs is what cognitive dissonance is, and it comes up a lot in the sort of the sort of political circles I've floated around in. And then also to say, there's also a term, and I don't know if you're familiar with this one, double think.
Double think. It rings a bell, but I'm not sure what it is.
I believe it derives from 1984, which is the year of my birth, by the way. 1984. My PIN code, I will tell you next week, everybody. 1984, the book, Double Think. It's where you can hold simultaneously two opposing, contradictory views.
Okay.
Right, and that's another term that reminds me. I'm just letting you know randomly. Why not?
Why
But
not?
no, trauma bonding though. Yeah, that is a term that I've heard of. I'm not. But that was interesting what you were talking about.
Well,
Absolutely,
that's
yeah.
the thing that kind of submerges you in it. So there's set phases that they go through, starting with love bombing, and then it goes to devaluing and isolation, and then it moves on to like gaslighting and breaking you down, that kind of thing. Then
Well,
you've
I'm
got
gonna.
that mock execution that I mentioned earlier, where there's like threats of abandonment, and
Wow,
they put you in a psychological kind of torture to break you down. Then comes the trauma bonding at that point.
man, you are actually an expert. It's awesome.
Well, I'm definitely not an expert, but Richard Grannon really has taught me all I know about this, and he came in at just the right time, because you do feel like you're going mental when you're in that situation. So just hearing somebody lay it out so clearly, and then you think, shit, okay, yes, I get this, and you start to understand it. So you need to empower yourself and get clarity on it to get out of it. That's the thing. But
And by the way, I might just say, I hope I'm not sort of putting you on the spot to say this, but it just like total transparency. Just for that Dan person, I don't know if you were a troll, but just to let you know, it just in case there was any sincerity in the way you were sort of posing that, and it was just came across awkwardly. But Jamila knows this, but basically, I can tell when Jamila's up for sort of being pushy with making a point and sort of owning sort of a bit of a diatribe like she just did, and when she does it, it's amazing, and I love it when she's got something to say for herself and she gets into it. But there are other moments, Jamila, am I right in saying, where you're not
yeah.
quite sort of you're still finding your feet with this whole format, which I am as well, really, because I've only been doing it for a month.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, where you're sort of not quite like you might otherwise, if you weren't live streaming, have a lot to say on the issue, but in the moment, it's sort of you know, it's not, you're not ready to sort of. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Right, so I'm
This is a
sensitive.
completely
Sorry,
new
sorry, sorry.
format for me, so yeah,
Right.
I'm just getting used to it, I think. But I didn't take that as a bad comment at all from Dan.
Oh well, I fucking yeah, because he was kissing your fucking ass at my expense. But no, just to say, yeah, for anyone who thinks I'm not letting the Woodland Warriors speak, I'd be happy for her to take it over, man. I would, but I'm just very sensitive to when she wants to do it, she'll butt in, she'll do it. You know what I mean? But I'm right in saying that, am I? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yes, I know what you mean.
Total disclosure, guys. I'm sure she'll that thing you just did then, me, was brilliant. Like, I love it when you get into it. Like, you are an expert in these things when you actually let yourself sort of just go and explain, you know?
But again, definitely not an expert, but if you've experienced it, then you
Mhm.
kind of learn about it. It's like the back of your hand. You know these phases, and I think once you've been through it,
Right.
you arm yourself then, so it stops you from getting in that situation again.
Well,
This
I
is
mean, what
why
I
it's
mean is that you've
important,
actually
you know,
say again, hon?
this is why it's important to have these conversations, because they're not rare by any means. Covert narcissists, they're out there.
No, actually, funnily enough, I read an article by, again, Richard Grannon, because he seems to be everywhere when you're searching, like, articles on the subject. And what was he talking about? Oh, how there's a sort of narcissist epidemic is what the terms he was using, actually.
Yeah,
Right, and
which
it
is
was, I
true,
presume.
I think.
Well, I think so too, and you know, I wonder about how. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. The culture's just producing a bunch of narcissists. Not surprising, really.
Yeah.
I've got to get to this actually, Miss. Sorry, just hilarious. Active shooter, um, nearly nude. It's Christmas themed, so I'm wearing tinsel. He sent me a pic via email, me, and I was thinking,
Oh,
actually, Jamila, when you were talking about the different phases that the narcissist takes you through, the trauma bond, and then the what was it, the different variations of gaslighting that they'll do with you. What were the terms again that
yeah.
you were just laying out? I sort of forget what you were saying. The terms
So
exactly.
it starts with love bombing, then you've
Right.
got
So active.
devaluing, isolation.
Okay, okay, so all those different phases, active shooter. I'm going to give you different emails that do each one of those things. First, I'll love bomb you, tell you how amazing your Christmas dick pic is, with the tinsel, and then I'll. What was the next one?
Devaluing and
And then I'll and
isolation.
then I'll and then I'll tell you how shit it is, and how no, anyway. Moving on, not so swiftly, but moving on. Saggy savior, and what were we saying? Savior and torturer sounds like let's go, Brandon. What does that mean? What's let's go, Brandon? Me? What does
I'm
that
not
mean?
sure what that means. I don't know.
Well, Saggy's trying to. Obviously, Saggy knows that presumably I don't know fuck all about anything, so I've got to now go and look this shit up. Probably. Let's go, Brandon. What the fuck is this? Let's go, Brandon. It's a horrible name for a whatever kid book. I don't know what. Oh, it's a meme. Oh, shit, I was probably should have known that, shouldn't I? Actually, Saggy Paul, because I know apparently say that I know my memes. This week, the phrase "Let's go, Brandon" has taken over Twitter. The viral meme involves NASCAR driver Brandon Brown, a hilarious crowd chant at an NBC reporter's dodgy hearing. Oh, right, that's hilarious. So let me see. What are you on about, Sagipur? Honestly, savior and torturer sounds like "Let's go, Brandon." Do you know what, Sagipur? I bet that's epic, but I just have not got the RAM to get on top of that now. Yeah, let me. You know what? Let me look that up later, brother. All right, nice one. I'm never going to get through this chat, but I've got to try really quick, me. So just bear with me and let me just blast. In
Um,
fact, you get this, honey, because I want you to get involved.
Barry Browning, it was a good stream. If it helps one person, it's worth it. No one should have to go through that. Yes, I agree.
Well, thanks, Barry Browning. You know, I
No
just
one,
still in the
yeah.
phase of experimentation with this whole thing, so I don't know. I'm just seeing if it's any good. Who knows? It was just I knew Jamila knew a lot about it, and she was keen to do it. Everyone in the chats, it seemed like it came up yesterday. It was really interesting, and yeah, it might be a dud, dude, but fuck it. It's you know, it is a fascinating subject at least. So hey, me, you seem poised that you wanted to say something then.
Oh, I was just going to say with the trauma bonding thing, so that's quite a crucial stage. So because
Right.
it's creating that cognitive dissonance, it starts affecting your health and your critical thinking. So it's at that point that you're either going to bond further or you're going to find a way out. So it's a really crucial point in the whole dynamic. So a good tool to use is to write everything down, because you are in a state of confusion, basically. And we can look at that with everything that's going on in the world at the moment as well. That's happening. There's a state of confusion out there, and people are just all over the place. It's
Oh, I
kind
think
of
we
trauma bonding what's happening, you know, out
nice
there.
observation. You know what? Again, you laying it out like that, and the way we got into that earlier. Let's do that. I'm serious. Let's actually next time. Let's do it where we can actually. Oh, what do you call it? Psychoanalyze the culture or society or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And actually trying to break it down. What the media's doing, what the establishment's doing by proxy of all the people that are signing on to the agenda.
yeah,
I don't know how to
definitely.
approach that because it's a very complex thing to approach, but I've got a few ideas. But yeah, I'd love to, rather than interpersonal, the societal pathology of sort of psychopathic, codependent fuckery that we're in right now. Barry Brown is very funny, mate. Then you want to become an active shooter. Exactly.
Yeah,
Jen, a covert narcissist. A covert narcissist craves admiration and lacks empathy. Oh, that is
yeah,
so true, Jen.
yeah,
Very, very
absolutely.
true. Barry Browning, most definitely, Jen. Active shooter. Woody needs her own show. Well, yeah. Well, I'm sure she'll be working up to that. Yeah, it would be cool. Any plans
Thank
for that,
you for
me?
that. No plans at the moment. It's crossed my mind, but nothing in
Yeah.
motion currently.
No, I'm pretty sure I could make an OnlyFans joke there, and I'm sure it would not impress Jen or you, but Shooter would probably have a little giggle. And Jen knows that I do tend to make OnlyFans jokes a lot in people's chats because you know. But anyway, Jen, yeah, I know. Thanks, Barry. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I can see this was no active shooter agreed. I don't know what. What did the shooter say? Eh? What did shooter say? Oh, here. Oh, Woods needs her own show. There you go. Icon seconded that, Jamila.
Thank you, lovelies.
I think what they're saying is that you're ruining my show, and they want it to go back to being just the B guy.
They want you all to themselves.
I'm pretty sure that's what they're saying. I'm only playing. I'm only playing.
I know
Totally
you
playing.
are.
Good. I was anyway, awkward silence for ages, but I'm only joking. Like, hey, yeah, Jen, yes. But it did have that sort of possible passive kind of like, isn't that what narcissists do? Like inadvertent
What's
kind
that?
of like. But what did you say? Those sort of passive kind of little digs. You know what I mean? I think Jen should have her own show. Hey, this is my show, and that's rude. What are you saying? Don't you like me? Don't you like the B guy? Fuck you.
That's not really passive aggression, though, is it? You're just laying it out there.
No, I know. It would be a really subtle example, I guess, but you know, no, they were just trying to compliment you, and they know that I don't have feelings, so they were absolutely right to do that. Yeah, no, they're saying nice things about you, hon. Yeah, right, absolutely.
Very sweet.
Paul from Newcastle, they like the Terminator. You can't bargain with it. They're like
Yeah,
the Terminator. You can't bargain with. Oh, absolutely, man. Yeah, 1,000,000%.
yeah, no bargaining there.
At least you can reprogram a fucking Terminator. You can't even do that with them.
True.
At least because Arnie, there was a nice one, wasn't there? There was one that was mates with John Connor. You know what I'm saying?
John Connor.
Maybe
Yeah,
Uncle Joker is like friendly Terminator. Anyway,
maybe.
Barry Browning, I say we have Woodland back on again. I know you do, Jen. Yeah. Active shooter, if you see me in Turkey, phone the RSPCA. Oh my God, active shooters having sex with goats again. Hey, active shooter, leave those goats alone. Hey, shooter, leave those goats alone. um,
I'm active.
well, anyway, on that fucking bombshell, you total retro. What's the word? Anyway, you total disgusting scuzzbucket active. Guys, that was pretty good, wasn't it? To be fair, I don't know actually. I'll have to watch it back, but you know, it was different. Different's good, right? It wasn't me trying to grift all of PewDiePie's 9-year-olds off him. So we're making progress.
There's definitely
Anyway,
progress.
good. No, go on then, me. Anyway, do you want to give a last final kind of little message to our people, or long message? I don't mind.
Well, actually, we'll just finish off. There's a few more stages that you go through.
Oh my
After
God,
the
she's
last
trying
one
to
was
she's trying to do the 5-hour epic live stream, guys. She's trying to totally get me to just keep going. Don't think she understands the social cues of when I keep passing it back to her. Like, so do you want to give any final thoughts, Jamila? Oh yes, what we could do now is get into sociopathy as a subject all of its own. Yes, good, great, good.
Stop.
What we should do. What we should do is talk about your fucking Asperger's, Jamila. Total autist over here. What the fuck?
No, but obviously we need to finish off the points, surely. We can't just leave it hanging.
Well, I didn't know you had other points, but I suppose that maybe that was my lack of sort of yeah, fine taking it. Do you know what? I'm happy either way, honey. If you want to speak, the floor is yours. Like I said, man, I'd be happy, just like the guys in the chat, to hear you whisper sweet nothings about cluster B complex all night long. So come on then, guys. You ready?
If that's your tipple, then yes.
Hey man, if that's all I can get, I'll fucking take it.
Okay, so where we were. So the trauma bonding. So at that point, you're either in or you're out. And if you're in still and you bond further, that's the point where they'll continue to dangle a carrot that you're never going to obtain. So you're in this constant state of wanting and not getting.
Ooh, can I butt in a second?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, hold that thought. But what I was going to say is, isn't that like what they're doing with the whole? And you can't say certain words, Jamila, just so you know. But
Yes,
what I call
it's
it is
exactly that. Yeah.
right. So they keep dangling this carrot of like, if you get the if you get the Vaseline, you know,
Yeah.
the Jill Bates Vaseline, then you'll be able to get your freedoms back. And
Yeah.
actually, it never happens because you then
Exactly.
have to get the next one and the next one and the next one. Right.
Yeah.
So total narcissistic. What's it called again? That thing, that particular one?
It's not really called anything, but it's just the dangling of the carrot stage, I guess.
Right. Okay, please continue.
Which definitely is not a religious vegetable. And then what comes after that is stonewalling. So they won't give you clarity on anything or closure.
What, a bit like you're doing with this fucking live stream?
Yeah, I'm stonewalling you now, guys.
Stonewalling me she's stonewalling us all leaving.
We're nearly there. We're nearly there. Bear with
I'm
me.
ready to play. Go on.
Then you've got triangulation. Do you know what that is?
Ooh, you mentioned this yesterday. I know what the conflict triangle is, but it's distinct from that, isn't it? It's not that.
Yeah, so the purpose of triangulation is to basically destroy the person's reputation. And triangulation is when they go about covertly tearing you down to all and sundry, but
Oh,
in a
it
covert
reminds
way.
me of something that does, but I'm not going to get into it. But it does fucking remind me of something that happened very recently. Interesting. Note to self. But please go on.
Then is the discard. So they withdraw, and it's the final kick to you, basically. They completely disregard you and drop you.
Right.
And
Well, I
then
wouldn't mind that shit. See you later, freak.
and yeah, that's it, basically. Then you got a grey rock then.
Oh, well, look, you can carry on. I was kind of into it. If you got more, it sounds like you kind of did have more, but you were trying to take a hint. But no, honey, I'm only playing. I mean, look, if you let me know it, give me the
No,
intel.
that's basically it.
All right.
The when they sort of discard you, that's the final stage. But it's done in such a way that they're always there in the background, and they kind of have permeated your brain, never to leave, unless you then detach, observe, keep your distance, and grey rock. So that's the way to deal with them.
Wow, see the way that I didn't really give any coherent advice, like, but I was just talking in around the thing. But Woodland was able to bring it to an actual conclusion and actual actionable life advice as it might pertain to a narcissist. Isn't Woodland Warriors just so fucking hot? I mean, come on, guys. I mean, she's got brains and she's probably really hot in real life. I mean, I don't know, never seen her, but she might be.
I'm a hairy
Barry,
grandma.
oh yeah, Harry Grandma. Barry Browning asks, Woodland, is your IQ higher than Hive's? Asking for a friend.
Careful, Barry.
Well, I actually think one of the reasons we sort of kind of get on is we probably have a comparable. Well, again, and I don't even know if IQ is a really good measure of anything much. In a sense, Barry Brown. Some of the people with the highest IQ, and I know I joke about it all the time, but some of the people with actually the highest IQs are fucking kind of have no wisdom, let's just say. And I know that's a cliche
Yeah,
point, but it is fucking true, though. I mean,
there
I
is
actually
a
think
difference, isn't there?
massive difference. I actually think I'm relatively wise and sort of, socially flexible or
Acceptable.
something like. Right, exactly. Except who am I? I just about am, I'm sure. But socially flexible or something like that, right? Adaptable, which does describe sort of a good. Sorry, what do I mean? Like, you know what I mean? I do all right in terms of all of the domains that one might want to do all right in. The moral
Yeah,
landscape as well. That's another dimension to ourselves that I take seriously. But a sociopath can forego any consideration as it might as it might pertain to the moral landscape and navigating it. Um, so I do believe that essentially empaths are navigating a sort of a different terrain than a psychopath or anyone in the cluster B. They don't have a moral dimension, a consideration to the moral dimension essentially, which is quite interesting. But yeah, the way you brought that to a close, then me and then actual advice. Listen to her; she knows what she's talking about, guys. If you're having problems with a freak, then do what she said. I was going to say, sorry, I think me and Woodland Warriors, loosely speaking, probably have a similar IQ, but who knows? I don't know. Just at a guess.
who
3
knows?
million,
Yeah,
right?
it's,
3 million IQ.
but yeah,
Antisocial.
it's not just about IQ, is it? It's emotional intelligence as well that I think is important.
Yeah, do you know what? Absolutely. Emotional intelligence, million percent. That is all that matters. If someone was not very good at crosswords, but sort of got me, then I'd rather
Yeah.
be with them than the opposite. Susan fucking Wajiki's made a little. Well, we were talking about covert narcissism, Wajiki. Not
Hi,
over.
Watch.
Yeah, Watch. All right, Watch. How's it going? Hello, Uncle Bones, too. Well, there you go. Nice of you to show up. And actually, that was on request because I think someone was saying, yeah, where's Susan? I think Uncle Bones might have said, where's Susan, or someone. Barry Browning, been through that too. It's fucking crazy. Right. So you were talking, yeah, you were talking about stuff that Barry Browning is familiar with there. Woodland?
Yeah, it's not nice at all. I feel for you, and I wouldn't wish anyone to go through that. It's fucking torturous.
Here you
But
go.
that's
You
why
can.
we're
Oh,
arming
sorry.
ourselves.
No, carry on.
Active
I didn't mean to. Yes,
That's
go on.
okay. Active shooter. Thanks for a great stream again, Woody. You're wasted coming in here. Oh, active.
You calling anyone else
Well,
wasted, mate, is a little rich, you fucking skaghead. Now go home. Go home to your roofless house. Yeah, it's very funny, dude. And well, look, Woodland Warriors is totally fucking epic, but you know, the Enlightened Mac. Oh, nice of you to join us. I haven't seen you for ages. The Enlightened Mac. How you doing, dude? Staff Sergeant Hive, nice uniform. Ha ha ha. So you caught it then, mate. Good to know. I'm glad you're up to speed, sir. And I'm glad you know that I am totally Illuminati. Yeah, Enlightened Mank. What do you think of that? My God. What? I'm a British Army spy. How about don't fucking think so? Jen, Barry, been there too, but told him to F off. Oh, is that all it takes, Jen? Fucking hell. IQ
Jen's got it
7
sorted.
billion. IQ 7 billion, Jen. Everyone else is making a big meal out of this shit. And you're just like, F off. Nah. Fucking done, man.
Perfect.
Nice to know, Jen. I mean, fucking hell, maybe I should have got you up. Woodland's been waffling about some fucking technical shit. I don't know. She's got you up. He only playing, Jen, only playing.
It would have saved us a lot of time.
Well, at the end of the day, she's not wrong though, in a sense, funnily enough. But yeah, he still texts 2 years later. Lol. Nope, ain't happening. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's interesting, isn't it? Because again, with coverts, they will keep coming back and sort of dangling that carrot and see if you bite.
Barry Browning's reminded me that I've got to shut the fuck up because the new flat. Barry Browning, I love you. And you're right, actually. I do. Hilarious. Susan Majiki, hello, icon. Susan Majiki, you don't get to be saying hello to people like a normal person. That's not allowed. Well, I am going to wrap it up now, guys, honestly. And I think, I'm sorry, Enlightened Mank, you just come in, mate, but watch it retrospectively and pretend that it's happening live, okay? Jen, Barry, you'll be fine. Just keep walking the other direction. Yeah, absolutely. That only works on a flat Earth, Jen, but hey, okay. Barry Brown, because otherwise you just, Barry Browning, I'm good, Jen. Thanks for saying that. If it still bothered me, I wouldn't talk about it. Well, I do appreciate everyone being sort of transparent and just sort of sharing all their stuff to do with that yesterday and today. I think it's been pretty interesting. I mean, it is interesting just to bring a focus to it because I think now that we laid this down as a foundation, just to sort of jog everyone's memory and sort of get everyone up to speed about the pathology itself. I think we should now get into it on a societal level. I'd really like to start to look at that. Woodland, what do you reckon?
Yes. Yeah, we can do that. For sure.
Nice. Okay. F off is the answer to a lot of stuff. Simple is good. F off, icon. I agree. F off. F. Segiport, don't F off, really. I kind of love you. And by the way, icon. By the way, oh, you know what? Let's get into that another time. But I'm going to totally shout out your stuff because I was checking out Icon's videos, and he not only films a lot of farming content, which is just awesome, him farming and all this sort of stuff. But
cool.
yeah, well, yeah, you take some sort of an interest in that, right? Because you're into foraging and things.
Yeah, definitely.
In fact, man, did you say you were foraging today just to sort of, tickle people's curiosities a little bit?
I was foraging today, yes.
She really is a woodland warrior, guys. It's really true.
Yes, I foraged rosehips, hawthorns, and apples, and was also drying out a polypore mushroom.
Oh my God! And is that a spell that you're doing?
Yes,
like a
but
spell,
if I told you what the spell was, I'd have to kill you, Hylas.
Oh my fucking God! Okay, then I'm just gonna stick to your. I'm gonna hopefully be on your good side. Okay.
You are.
Oh, thanks. Right. Saggy paw. I'm Susan, you tit. Yes, I know. Barry Browning, very true icon. All right, guys, you know what? I think that's definitely come to a natural close, hasn't it? Let's just see what Wajiki's going on about again. Go on in, Wajiki. Good meeting this morning, Hiveless B. Very good. 1,000 subs will be delivered in 48 hours. Oh my god. Hilarious, by the way.
Wow.
And if that actually was true, then fuck it. I probably would become Illuminati, actually. See, that's my price. 1,000 subs. And then I'll be Illuminati. Active Shooter, don't go on sharing my nude pic about Hiveless. It is for your eyes only. Oh my god, Active Shooter! I can't wait to see this little.
Titbit.
Oh, a tidbit! Oh my god, I want to see your titbit wrapped in what? Tinsel. Titbit wrapped in tinsel. I can't wait, Active Shooter. Merry fucking Christmas to you. A little early, Shooter, by the way. A little fucking early to be getting horny. I mean, festive, or both. Barry Browning, whatever the fuck that is, looks like a bunny or something. But okay. I got a show, guys. It's been a good show. I love you all. Let them know how much you love them, Woodland.
I love you. I genuinely love you.
Oh my god, I actually believe that now. Don't you guys? I'm getting excited. Well, here you go, guys. Here's the Agony Aunt mad outro for you all. In fact, what should? Yeah, fuck it. Let's go old school on this. Are you ready? It's gonna blast in. So maybe get a little dip off your volume because it's gonna blast in. It's been fun, guys. Stay away from the fucking freaks. And yeah, you know what? I'll probably do a midweek chill stream where we can just shoot the shit and talk a load of bollocks tomorrow. Laters, everyone, and yeah, bye.